Welcome back to ILTV on the Hour. We're live in Israel bringing you the biggest headlines from the region. I'm Sivan Raviv and today is day 699 of the war in Gaza. Let's get into all the top headlines at this hour. President Donald Trump's social media post demanding that Hamas give back all 20 living hostages to end the war received quick approval from Hamas, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dismissed the Hamas answer as just another spin. Trump's post on Truth Social was brief, reading immediately, give back all 20 hostages, not 2 or 5 or 7. If they do, things will change rapidly. It will end, Trump said. Trump referred to the living hostages and did not make reference to the return of the additional 28 deceased hostages who are also still being held by Hamas. Shortly after the Trump post, Hamas issued what appeared to be a positive public response. Hamas expressed a willingness to release all hostages in exchange for the end of the war and Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. In a statement, Hamas said it's willing to enter a deal in which all prisoners will be freed in exchange for an agreed-upon number of Palestinian prisoners, the withdrawal of Israeli forces, and the unlimited entry of humanitarian assistance. Prime Minister Netanyahu rejected the Hamas response as more spin. He said Hamas must surrender or see Gaza City leveled if they do not accept all of Jerusalem's conditions to halt the fighting. It's day 699 of the war in Gaza. The IDF is continuing preparations to expand the ground operation in Gaza City and to obtain operational control of remaining Hamas strongholds. The army says that Hamas is making attempts to block the population of Gaza City from moving southward as ordered by the army. Kogat released testimony of Palestinian residents exposing Hamas efforts as it tries to use the Palestinian residents as human shields. In released remarks, a resident is recorded saying, "We want to go south, but Hamas are waiting for us on the way. They tell people to go back home and that there is no evacuation. They're preventing the population from moving along the main roads." Israeli security authorities are raising alarms over a troubling rise in extremist activity among Israeli Arab citizens. Shin Bet and Israeli police warned that the ongoing conflict in Gaza is radicalizing segments of the Arab-Israeli community, a trend they describe as expanding involvement in terrorism. They emphasize that such cases, while still rare, signal a growing threat that must be addressed swiftly. Both agencies say they're intensifying surveillance and enforcement to thwart any additional attempts at recruitment or violence. The IDF has released striking images of a lavish feast held inside a Hamas tunnel in southern Gaza. These images were found at a European hospital in southern Gaza where Mohammed Shabana was killed with Mohammed Sinwar. The IDF found photos of breakfast Ramadan meals enjoyed by Shabana, the Rafah Brigade commander, and his family, with pastries, falafel, French fries, and grilled meat. All this while Gazans suffered hunger. The photos stand in stark contrast to the suffering above ground as Gazan civilians broke their Ramadan fast on food scraps. Hamas leaders indulged in extravagant meals underground. This imagery exposes a double narrative, one of hunger and hardship for the population and of privilege and comfort for Hamas's elite. The IDF says these images counter the group's propaganda and underscore the disconnect between Hamas leadership and the civilian reality. And last, the IDF says its 810th Mounted Brigade has marked 1 year since its establishment along Israel's northern borders. The brigade was created to focus on the Mount Dov, Lebanon, and Hermon, Syria sectors, areas that have been repeated flare-ups over the past year. According to the military, the unit has conducted dozens of operations on both fronts, including raids to uncover tunnels, weapon caches, and other infrastructure tied to hostile groups. The brigade also played a role in Operation Bashan Arrows, an Israeli campaign in the Hermon region. Officials say its presence is designed to prevent the re-emergence of terror networks and bolster security for communities in the north. The IDF says all these activities are in defense of Israel. That's it for this edition of ILTV on the Hour. We'll continue giving you the most important updates coming from Israel and the Middle East. I'm Sivan Raviv. This is ILTV News. Thank you very much for watching.